Hello YouTube, my name's Nero and today from Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, another episode of DNA Saturday, which is the weekly series here on my channel where subscribers send me in DNA bombs. That was the Cray class we're going to be using throughout the entirety of this gameplay. If you guys would like, you can go back and pause the video to get a good look at the Cray class, but keep in mind I will be talking about the perk selection and the attachment choices and things like that throughout this video, because we like to do that here on DNA Saturday. We like to talk about the class, we like to break it down a little bit, just because I know a lot of you probably like to replicate these classes. You see the person that's submitted their stuff for DNA Saturday that week, and you see them just tearing up everybody with it, and you're probably thinking to yourself, I want to try out that class. I want to see how that would work for me. So because of that, we like to try and put a pretty big emphasis on the class itself in these videos. The gameplay itself was actually sent in by a guy that goes by the name of Time Slows Down. What we got going on here is a game of domination here on the map Drift, which is a pretty good map overall. It's part of the Havoc DLC. If you're an Xbox player, of course, Havoc DLC has been out for quite some time now. If you're a PlayStation player, this DLC is relatively new, so hopefully you guys are adjusting well and enjoying the DLC so far. And if you're on the PC, well, sorry, I guess, for the delay of your delayed DLC. Think about that, man. People on the Xbox, they get the DLC a month before people on the PlayStation on the PC. And then the PlayStation people get it, and they delayed the PC one. It's like, you already had an extra month to get this right. How is it not out yet? And I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Poor PC players always getting their stuff delayed. First GTA 5, now this. It's sadness. Sad days for people on the PC. But, you know, I guess it can't all be fun and rainbows with your awesome 1080p, 60 FPS, awesome graphics, 60 plus FPS graphics with your FOV sliders. It's not all fun and games, you guys, with your amazing rigs, which my PC could probably run a lot of that stuff at really high settings as well, but I'm just not a big fan of keyboard and mouse. So let's not sit here and talk about PC the whole time. Let's actually start talking about the Cray class a little bit, because we're using the HBR-A3 Insanity, which I had heard is the best variant of the HBR, but I haven't had the opportunity to use it because I don't have it unlocked yet. But I looked up the information on it, and the HBR-A3 Insanity is insanity, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. It's pretty freaking good. So what's the one downside to the HBR? Can anyone answer that for me? What's the one downside to it? Well, I guess you could say the iron sights, but fire rate, right? So what this weapon is basically it hits like a truck, medium to long range, but it's really kind of weak at close ranges just because it has a pretty low fire rate. Well, the HBR-A3 Insanity is going to fix that for you. So what it actually does is it gives it +1 to damage, +2 to fire rate, and -1 to handling. Also, it has kind of a fun little quirk where it basically allows you to not use any kind of optical attachment. You're not allowed to use any optical attachments, red dot sight, ACOG sight, holographic sight, anything like that. You can't use it on this weapon, which for whatever reason, I don't really understand why. Maybe because it would be too powerful if you had like the free vision of a red dot sight, because the iron sights, let's face it, are kind of bad. So maybe because of that, people won't be able to snipe people with this thing as easily. Of course they can if they're very good with the iron sights, but if you were to use a red dot sight on this particular variant, I don't think that'd be very fair, to be honest. So it's kind of nice that they're allowing you to do that. But the attachment choices we went with for this gameplay are, of course, going to be silencer, adjustable stock, as well as extended mag. Silencer, very tried and true. Of course, you have the extended mag, awesome attachment. Any gun that allows me to have extended mag, chances are I want to use it because, well, I mean, there's no downside. You got bigger magazine, which is a lot more forgiving for spray and pray. Of course, you have the extra ammo that comes with that. And for the third attachment, he actually went with adjustable stock, which is kind of that's kind of personal preference, really. Some people love adjustable stock, helps them win a lot more gunfights because they can strafe and stuff, whereas other people hate it because it takes away their aim. Like they don't aim very well with adjustable stock. They feel like they move too quickly. But right here is pretty cool. So we get 2 headshots right there. There's this guy on the stairs. That's a 3rd headshot. Then another guy on the stairs. That's a 4th headshot. We get 4 headshots in a row right there. I thought that was a pretty cool part of the gameplay. But yeah, those are the attachments. We're actually using low profile as perk 1, which is tried and true. If you don't know what to put in your perks, low profile, you can't really go wrong with it. You really can't. Perk number 2, Cold-Blooded. A perk I never see used, to be honest. Cold-Blooded, I definitely don't recommend it. I would definitely recommend something like Blind Eye over Cold Blood any day of the week. And for perk 3, we're using Scavenger as well as Blast Suppressor. So Blast Suppressor, I've made videos about it. It's probably the best perk in the game. As well as Scavenger, it's kind of personal preference as to whether or not you want to be able to pick up more ammo for your particular weapon, or if you're more comfortable just picking up any weapon you can find on the ground. Really kind of personal preference on that. But yeah, it's a pretty basic class. Overall, nothing really too keen, nothing really too fancy with it. Just running around, outgunning all these people and having a good time here on Drift, which is a cool map. I gotta say, Drift, one of the better maps of any Call of Duty DLC, really, if I had to say. Of all the DLC maps we've gotten over the years, a lot of them were kind of crap, and I don't feel as though Drift is one of them. And right there is actually where we pick up the DNA bomb. Very fast, very nice, just an awesome overall DNA bomb gameplay. I thought it was cool. I want to thank you to Mr. Time Slows Down for sending in this gameplay, because it's just definitely enjoyable to watch stuff, especially on new DLC maps, because you know on new DLC maps the players are kind of new to it, including the person that's submitting the gameplay, so it's definitely kind of cool to see that. We've seen a lot of DNA bombs, for example, on Comeback. We've seen a lot of them on the map Terrace, so it's pretty cool to be able to see DNA bombs on maps that haven't even really been out that long. People aren't exactly adjusted to or acquainted with as of yet. But let's go ahead here to the final score of the gameplay. We're going to see Mr. Witchblood here miss a sniper shot. He's actually going to pick up this. Is he going to get him? Okay. That's going really slow. I'm like, why is that going so slow right there? They slowed that down a lot with that kill cam. But a final score of 63 kills as well as 5 deaths. We also throw in 6 captures and we throw in 4 defends. Just for good measure, we almost maxed out the scoreboard in that gameplay. 9,715 score. Pretty good, man. Definitely pretty good. That was just an awesome overall gameplay, and I applaud you, Mr. Time Slows Down, for submitting this thing. And hopefully all of you guys enjoyed watching it as well. So hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episode of DNA Saturday. And if you did, please be sure to leave a rating where you guys feel the video deserves. And if you guys would like to submit your DNA bombs for next week's episode of DNA Saturday, watch the video. It's on your screen right now. You really need to watch that video. It tells you everything you need to know. I had somebody this week who submitted me a video, and I didn't even watch it because in his message, he's like, I'm following all the rules. He went through and like listed off like seriously like 5 paragraphs of how he's following every single rule for DNA bombs. He didn't have timestamps anywhere, and it was a 10-minute long video that I did not want to try and like sift through to find where the DNA bomb was at. So I'm like, sorry man, you just wrote me like a 2-page essay about why you followed all the rules when in reality you skipped the most important part, which was the timestamp. So be sure to watch that video. It tells you everything you need to know about DNA Saturday. If you guys would like to go ahead and check out Mr. Time Slows Down, you can go ahead and do so by clicking the annotation on your screen or by clicking the link to his channel down in the video description. He does not have a direct URL since the Google Plus update that really kind of messed up a lot of that stuff, but he does in fact have a YouTube channel, which you can find once again by the annotation on your screen or by the link down in the video description. What does he post? Well, he posts Call of Duty. He has a gameplay channel that doesn't really take it too serious or anything like that. He's been posting since Modern Warfare 3. He has a bunch of Moabs, he has a bunch of chem strikes, and he has a couple DNA bombs up so far. Basically, what I can tell from his channel is whenever he gets one of those, shall we call them hidden kill streaks in the game, he uploads it. There's never a commentary to it or anything like that. Like whenever he would get a Moab back in Modern Warfare 3, he would just upload the gameplay, bam, there's his Moab. If he were to get a chem strike and Call of Duty Ghost, he'd be like, okay, well, there's my gameplay, no commentary. He just uploads basically the raw gameplay, says, bam, there's my chem strike. He has a bunch of those and a bunch of Moabs, and he's got a couple DNA bombs doing the exact same thing. Once again, no commentary or anything like that. So if you want to check out his channel, it is what it is. It's a gameplay channel, and you might be able to go enjoy some different kinds of DNA bombs or chem strikes or Moabs, whatever you're into. He's got some really good gameplay. The quality, I gotta say, wasn't very good back in Modern Warfare 3, but his quality's definitely gotten a lot better over the years. And yeah, he's got some pretty good gameplay. Maybe if you're into the entire concept of just watching gameplay, and they might have the channel for you. Just go ahead and check him out. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this week's episode of DNA Saturday, and if you did, please be sure to leave a rating. Hope you guys all have a wonderful day.